In this episode of What They Don't Tell You, this is a question I get a lot from players trying to understand design and how a putter works. And the question always is what does the hosel do and what is it good for? The hosel's main purpose is to connect the shaft to the putter head. The hosel's design can influence the center of gravity of your putter. It can also influence the axis of rotation, allowing more or less rotation. The hosel design can also affect the path of your stroke and be a large contributor to aiming. And even more so, a topic that's rarely discussed in putter fitting is when the player stands over the putter and looks down at the hosel head combination. Does it match their eye? Is it what they like to see? Will it give them that confidence to be able to make a good stroke? So this episode of What They Don't Tell You is going to dive in deeper on the hosel. So we've learned that the hosel is a piece that connects the shaft and the putter head together. So the interesting image above shows the exact same putter and different interactions and different hosel placements, designs, and how that can influence the balance, feel, and more so the look of the putter. So now let's take a look at some of the most common putter hosel styles. You have the plumber. It's a very square looking hosel, really used in a lot of putters that have lots of offset for players that like their hands in front of the ball. Usually partnered with a toe hang putter. So you see this on a lot of blades. It's a very good design for an arc putter. The next type is the flow. This has a softer look than the square look of the plumber. Can allow for the hands to be in front of the ball. Usually, again, partnered with a toe hanging putter. And it is good design, once again, if you like to arc the putter. The slant design has a straight hosel bend back to the putter shaft. For some, this is a great visual compared to the two listed above. This is usually partnered with a putter that has less amounts of toe hang to even face balanced. We have a center shafted. This can use a hosel, or you can have a direct insertion of shaft into the putter head. Hands typically tend to be even with the ball at address. Great for flat lie angles, people that like their hands low. And it is good design for face balanced putters. No hosel. Basically a bent shaft into the putter head. This is a true money saver for equipment manufacturers because they only have to design the head and insert the shaft. Non-hosel designed putters really can help a player that believes in straight back, straight through. So many hosels, so little time. So now let's take a look at shaft offset and how that affects center of gravity as well as a possible aim bias correction. The purple line is actually mirroring the face, so you can see in the first image with no offset, the face and the front of the shaft match. And as we start moving the offset forward or the head back, you can see that the actual face is now a center shafted or 3/4 shaft. So you can see how we're starting to be able to move the center of gravity back behind the putter. And for a lot of players that like their hands forward at address, we need this offset and this manipulation of the center of gravity for them to be able to create a better roll. What we can also see a lot of times is a player has an aim bias. If they aim one way or the other, by actually changing the offset of the putter, we can guide them to aim more right, 0 offset or less offset, to a shaft that is fully offset, we can actually bring the putter left. So this is a great trick inside of putter fitting to be able to mask aim biases and actually move them to be able to get your player to ground the putter square at their target line. Now it is time to look at the placement of the hosel on your putter and how this can influence the path of your putt. When the hosel is towards the heel, this will help the player generate a larger arcing stroke, opposed to as the hosel connected to the center of the putter, this will help reduce or limit the arc. And of course, there are hosel placements anywhere in between the two. Now it's time to take a look at how the actual putter head rotates. Rotation is different than path. We talked about heel placement and center placement of the hosel helping control path. Rotation is the movement of the putter head around its axis of rotation. This is what causes the putter head to want to open and close. So any hosel that is designed near the heel of the putter will create maximum toe hang. So the putter is going to want to open and close the most. And then also as we move the hosel to the center, we're going to reduce the amount of toe hang and the face will be much more stable. This is why many times you'll see face balanced putters actually having a centered hosel because they're trying to stabilize the face and the path as much as possible. We also want to make sure that these two are congruent. We want to make sure that our heel placement is matching our path as well as our intended rotations with our face. These are all key points inside of a good putter fitting. After sitting through this presentation on the hosel, I hope that you have a very good understanding of the importance of the hosel and how this can influence your performance. So now you should know what a hosel is good for.